wonderful.
That's great.
So my second question for you is, you also told me a little bit about the work you've been doing to support the campaign.
Oh, right.
You've been doing fundraising at a pretty big level. You got roped into the campaign.
Right.
You're relatively young. You said you're one of the younger fundraisers working at the high level that you are. I think a lot of young people don't really feel like they can make a big difference at a level like that. So I'd love to hear about your fundraising experience and what risks you had to take as a young person to pull that off.
Sure.
Well, I guess I'll tell my sort of serendipitous story. I was, of course in 2004 I saw Barack Obama give this incredible speech at the convention, just watching on my own television. And I thought, oh my God, I know this man. He was my teacher. And I've been, suddenly seeing him, in every magazine cover, and very excited about his success as his election to the Senate from Illinois. But I just sort of, admired him from afar. I didn't feel like I could do anything specifically for him, and this was obviously in advance of him even considering running for president. And I actually had thought about writing to him just to congratulate him, but at the time it just seemed like unlikely that I could get a message through to him. So anyway, of course I started to watch with extra interest when he was considering running for president. And in January of '07, just by happen chance, I was sitting in the Delta Lounge in the Atlanta airport, and a gentleman came and sat near me, and actually my daughter and husband, and we were just making small talk, and before long we were talking about politics, and I ended up talking, we ended up talking about Obama, and I mentioned, of course, that he had been my teacher. And this gentleman says, well, that's interesting because I just spoke to the senator yesterday. And it turned out to be a friend of mine now, Kirk Dornbush, who is the Southeast Finance Chair for the Obama campaign. And of course we traded information, and before I knew it I was off to Springfield along with Kirk, Springfield, Illinois, in February when Barack Obama announced that he was running for president. And just getting to know Kirk, I started to learn a little bit about this whole fundraising world, the traditional fundraising world anyway, which is, people that are committed and obviously have extra, they tap into their networks of people who have the ability to pay to come to events like, these $500 to $1,000 plate events, and even up to $2,300. And at first I found it very daunting because although I'm lucky enough to not consider myself poor, I wasn't quite sure if I was at the level of asking my friends for that kind of money for any cause. And but I thought that I started on a smaller scale, getting involved in a couple of events as a co-host, and because I have a personal tie to Barack Obama as a student, and I happen to have so much share so much of his vision of the world. It was quite an easy sell, actually, just to tell people, I'm supporting this candidate. I know him personally. I'm going to be, co-hosting this fundraiser. If you're interested in attending, this is the, minimum donation that is being asked for. And luckily enough, a lot of those early events were events that Barack Obama attended himself, and so there was a lot of interest generated. And I kind of went from there. And anyway, it's not the easiest thing in the world to ask people for money, as I'm sure you know. But when you believe in something, I think it kind of flows naturally.